Well, hey guys and girls, it's Ivan Barry here. Um, some of you will be familiar with me mostly for probably my 20 years work in supportive mental health roles. But there's another group of people who will have known me uh, differently to this. I've been for about 30 odd years now reading um, tarot for people discreetly as private clients with mind, body, spirit events on my travels. When I was a bit of a global traveller and giving occasional talks to doctors and the general public about hearing voices and creative ways to respond to it and understand these experiences. And one of the ways that I kept myself fed and watered, despite all the kindnesses that were afforded me in terms of places to stay, as I travelled around the USA and to Iceland and Egypt, was I was able to draw on a bit of an unusual skill. Some of you may know the Zen Tarot. So I've been reading these cards since 1987, I think, quite a long time. And people really get a lot of benefit from the insights that Zen Tarot gives, sometimes suggestions for improvements or positive ways to move forward. And I really enjoy this particular deck because they're quite magical. The cards always seem to suit a person's lived experience and their understanding of it. And people definitely tell me that they've sometimes been able to make choices and decisions based on the reading that have proved to be helpful in the short and medium and longer term. So very happy to continue doing these readings if people would care for me to. But having said that, I always, over the years, have developed the sense that when we have a tarot reading, regardless of our choices of cards, cards we can't see, we invest some of our spiritual energy into a card deck and in the mixing of the cards. When we decide to stop and we pull out the cards, clearly the symbolism and interpretations of those cards allow us to have a conversation. Of course, it's always a confidential one, but we can talk about whatever issues are coming up for the person as we discuss the import and meaning of the cards that we're looking at. And I find that it's basically a glimpse into the mirror of the soul. Now, just a few weeks ago, I helped a friend here in Berlin, Germany, move some furniture with no expectation of a thank you or gratitude in any sort of physical or financial way, because my friend is not able to do that. But a week or so ago, I got a message on my phone, and there's a gift for you. We want to say thank you for helping us. It was quite a tough move, but now I love art, and I particularly love Salvador Dali. So this is what I was given as a thank you. It's a beautiful velvet box containing a set of remarkable cards designed by Dali, as well as an interpretive, lavishly illustrated booklet. So apparently Dali was asked to design these cards, which were initially meant to be used in the film, I think it's Roger Moore, but it's a James Bond movie called Live and Let Die. And Dali, being a busy person with multiple projects, never quite got round, apparently, to having the deck ready for the film. So they substituted the Dali Tarot with a different tarot deck, and the scene was still filmed and used in the movie. So, but a few years later, or a little while later, Dali did complete his work over time on the Dali Tarot, and they're rather glorious. And so I want to show you, it's a beautiful plush velvet box. It's rather large, so I don't think this will be able to be fitted into any backpacks for trips abroad if people would like face-to-face Dali readings, but we never know. So it's unwieldy but very attractive, with Dali on the front, of course, gold lettering. So I thought I'd just unbox it briefly and show you what's contained within this box of delights. So if I can get it open. So it opens to, on the top is this rather large but beautiful book. So in in the pages of this book, basically if I open at random, we can see an example of Dali's artwork. Each of the 22 major arcana cards that are in this pack are exclusive and total Dali originals. We'll talk about that in a second. Meantime, rather attractive. It's like a gold laminated plastic box, and inside are the cards themselves. So look at these, unmistakably Dali. Now all I can say is the cards are beautiful. They're large, so unless you're Donald Trump with big hands, shuffling these and doing readings might be a little bit challenging. And if I have, apart from the fact that they're beautiful, if I have one small complaint at all, I would have liked them to be a little bit smaller and a little bit thicker. They are quite flimsy, so I don't know how these would hold up in experiences of travel and being dragged around the world and used repeatedly. So yes, this is a reproduction of the original Salvador Dali tarot. So I'll just move the box to one side. So we'll just take a very quick look if you care to. I'm going to. So of course, the Magician is the first card in the Dali tarot deck, and so of course the great man himself. It's the now what Dali's done with these cards is not only is it an ambient mixture of his own unique artwork, he's researched and trawled back through hundreds and hundreds of years of European art history. So many of the cards feature details from well-known and lesser well-known paintings, and he seems to draw all the way from the origins of art on the cave paintings, perhaps in France, painted in Neolithic times, through ancient Greek murals, and right through to 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th century art. Here he's incorporated the gilded roof of the Sainte-Chapelle Church in Paris, and the table is a detail from the Last Supper. So there we have the full. Of course, his muse and partner in crime, Gaia, is the model again for another Dali exclusive, and this time she's the Empress. It's rather beautiful, and you see those familiar Dali landscape traits. This is the Emperor, rather powerful figure, vibrant colours. Again, that's another original Dali. We have the Lovers, which is a rather beautiful card too, and this contains a detail from Neptune and Amphitrite by Jean Gussan, I think is pronounced, known as Mabuse. Who I think it was painted in 1516, so I'll give you some idea of the treasure trove of history. Some of the cards that Dali draws on, some of the cards are entirely phantasmagorical. So here we are. It's the Moon, of course. Sorry, I had to look there. So again, you know, modernistic, futuristic, abstract and impressionism all mixed in together. And then the King of Coins. Now, you may or may not know that Dali once was called Avidas Dollars. At one point in his life, he was basically signing anything that people would ask him to, including currency notes on visits to the USA. So he'd write Salvador Dali for a fee on $10 notes, $20 notes, etc. And I don't know if it was André Breton or another of the surrealist originators who rearranged Salvador Dali's name to make the word Avidas Dollars. So to just sort of maybe like an Andy Warhol energy of like, yeah, I'll draw on that and scribble on that if you just give me some money. So, and then, yeah, this beautiful Ace of Cups, and it'll have a landscape you might be familiar with if you know Dali's work on the beaches and the cliffs, Figueras in I think in Spain. And it's got a little bit of an atmosphere of like the John of the Cross painting by Dali, which hangs, I think, still in Glasgow, Scotland. So the cards are colourful, they're beautiful, they're dreamlike. There's Napoleon. And what I would like to say, I've been immersing myself in the book, and thank goodness I have some familiarity with traditional tarot cards such as Rider-Waite, Thoth Tarot, etc. So the interpretations specific to these cards in the Dali book are quite intriguing, creative, and surreal, and still play, I think, a great role in inculcating creative thinking for the individual having a card reading, tapping into sort of creative energies and realizing, you know, life is a bit like a painting. Sometimes it is like a Dali painting. So I would be also then drawing on my knowledge of past tarot decks and the more traditional interpretations and symbolic meanings of cards. And I wonder if I can fuse both the Dali-esque aspects and the more traditional aspects together. So that's what I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. If anybody would care to have a tarot reading for these surrealistic times we're living through, I can't think of a more fun, possibly more powerful, more provocative way than to have a Salvador Dali tarot reading. So I shall be offering these 3 card readings so we can look at what's going, what energy's fading, what's here and what's coming. Or if people have a desire, we could look at a full, like a Celtic cross reading, which would maybe take sort of 30 to 45 minutes. You can pay anything you like. I realise, like me, a lot of people are totally unwaged. If you're lucky enough to have some financial stability, I'd very much welcome a donation of your own choice into my PayPal account, which is Ivan Barry, and my email is ivanjbarry@gmail.com. Okay, I think I've said enough. I'm ready. And so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. The only thing left to say is Darlene. See you soon.